Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel, The Mother Speaks Tarot. My name is Allison. My channel is still pretty new, it's just over a year old, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you've already subscribed, if you subscribed today, thank you so much. I appreciate you all, subscribed or not. Thank you for being here with me. For those of you who are new and don't know, I'm also an author. I'm writing a series. It's an action-adventure love story on superhero twin flames. It's called Perception, the Two Yet One. Book 1 here, which I've read aloud live on Facebook and uploaded all those videos here to YouTube for you to enjoy for free. Just know that Book 2 is already published and available. All the links that you need for my books are in the description box below, including if you would like to have a personal reading, the information to contact me to schedule that is also in that description box. Okay, so welcome and welcome back everyone. As I usually do, I'll explain what's going on this week. For some of you, last week you knew that I was already planning on asking the cat spirit here for the readings this week. You know, I had a cat. She was my familiar. She was wonderful. Her name was Mama, a black cat, and you know, she lived outdoors because I was allergic to her. I couldn't find a home for her, and so I just kept feeding her, and she stayed with me for a really long time. She was really old, and recently, a few months ago, she just kind of left and didn't come back, and that's what cats do sometimes. So I feel like she's passed away, and I've been thinking about her a lot. And then we went through the Lionsgate portal, and I've just been feeling that cat spirit. And recently, there was this store that I've been going to with my mom, and we kept seeing this tarot, and I was like, well, I don't see a reason for it. But then I realized it was, you know, it was time for it. So I got the tarot, and today I'm going to be using the cat tarot. It is so adorable. I feel like part of the message from the cat spirit is to lighten up a little bit, get more playful in life. This tarot is adorable. And you know, I know it sounds weird and everything, but especially the Death card and the Devil card are adorable. Really interesting. So if I need to clarify, I'll be using the Tarot of the Cloisters by Michelle Leavitt. At the end of the reading, I'll pull one card from the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild and artwork by A. Andrew Gonzalez. This is the deck that we have our cat spirit from. It's basically BAST. Okay, and this deck, she's called Bastet. Okay. So even though this particular deck is pretty serious because it's part of your divine journey, I still feel like this deck is saying, let's all lighten up just a little bit. And because Bast is in here, I'm going to go ahead and pull some from the Legendary Ladies Goddess deck by Unction, one of my very favorite oracle decks. Okay, so I am a twin flame reader. You don't have to believe in twin flames. You don't have to be part of a divine union or anything. Basically, I am, as a reader, I think that those who have taken responsibility for the energies in their lives and they're on a path walking with spirit each day to become a better and better person, I feel like that is something that really helps people understand what I'm doing here. So if you aren't doing those things, I may not be the best reader for you. However, everyone is welcome here. Welcome everyone. I love everyone, every single person on this planet. So with that said, as a reader, I read minor arcana cards as messages about your free will, which is very powerful. I read major arcana cards as messages about your divine blueprint. Your divine blueprint is the plan that you as your higher self wrote for your life before you incarnated so that you would encounter and hopefully learn certain important lessons of life that when learned raise the vibration and wisdom encoded in your soul. Because of our powerful free will, it is possible to lower in vibration during a lifetime. But if you can manage to rise lifetime after lifetime, you may become what we call enlightened, like Buddha and Jesus and Thoth and Isis and lots of other people that we know affected a great deal of positive change on our planet. So when I'm looking at your major arcana cards, it's a lot like looking at your destiny, but it isn't exactly, because of that very powerful free will. Now, there are times in our lives where things happen that are completely beyond our control, and we write them that way. Those times are indicated to me by the Wheel of Fortune card, which you do have, and sometimes they're also indicated by an unusually large number of major arcana cards, which you don't have. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so right here at the heart of everything, you've got the star in reverse. Okay, now I'll just show it to you upright. This is Aquarius energy. Okay, this is all your healings and your hopes and your dreams and everything. When it's in reverse like this, though, I feel like you've kind of given up on your dreams, like you're not dreaming anymore. And that is further indicated to me by the energy that is crossing the star. These two energies are working together in a way. This could be affecting this one, or it could be the result of this. And I'm just, you know, you've got, out of the pentacles, this is one that has the stars in it. Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with this deck yet. I went through it this weekend. It's so adorable. But the Five of Pentacles is when you're feeling left out in the cold, okay? Now, I do like to work with the energies that a deck is created with, and they don't have a whole lot of, a little book did come with it, but they don't have a whole lot of like description. So I'm reading these as usual, but also intuitively, but also checking these. Like the star says in the reverse, it says you may be having trouble seeing your star. Remember that anything standing in your way can be maneuvered around or knocked aside. Okay, so I felt like I needed to read that part to you about the star in the reverse. But this one is, I'm just feeling that you're just feeling out in the cold. You're feeling lonely. You may be having a hard time with your money right now. Something happened with your money. The Five of Pentacles is, you know, material trouble. Okay, so I mean, if you look at these, I'm also getting visual messages from my guides. And look at the stars in the top here. Okay, so these are very much connected. However, you're not dreaming anymore because you're having some issues. You're feeling left out of something. And the reason, or the root of it all, is the Emperor energy. So this, it could be your father. Okay, this is father energy. This is sacred masculine energy. It's right side up. Look at him. So look at him. Okay, I'm gonna read to you what, because I can't remember exactly what they said about why he's wearing a collar, a medical collar. Okay, it says, worn with the right attitude, even a cone of shame can become a crown. Isn't he adorable? So it says, upright, the Emperor holds all the cards with absolute authority. After all, a cone only prevents cats from biting themselves. Everyone else is fair game. That's so cute. But power must be used responsibly, and the card reminds us to exercise serious self-control. Master yourself and destiny will follow. Well, yeah, I mean, that's really cute and everything, but what I feel here is that there is some sort of father energy that is at the root of this. Somebody, this could be a boss as well, okay? Because this is boss energy. This is the Emperor. Okay, the sacred masculine. So whether it's your boss or your father, or it could be an Aries too, who is in their Emperor energy, man or woman, it doesn't matter. This is a boss energy. This is somebody who works for the good of all and cares very much about the people that he feels he's taking care of. Okay, this is a 4. I don't know why I needed to say that. Okay, so the next card that we have here is the 7 of Wands. And it is in the reverse. Okay, so the 7 of Wands is that right? Yeah, okay. These are red for fire with a wand at the bottom. So it's in the reverse though. The 5 of Wands is when you are really determined, okay? However, this is the reverse. I feel like your determination may have left you a little bit, but there's still some sort of issue going on here, okay? There is, you're tired, okay? This is battle weary, okay? You're not as determined anymore. You're starting to feel beaten down is what I feel. You're losing your dreams, your hopes and your dreams. You're feeling left out in the cold. You're not as determined. Your fire has gone out, I just heard. But this is moving out of your energy at this time. This is your recent past. Okay? This is your recent past where you've been so tired and you needed to believe in yourself a little bit more because your determination had been lost. But this is moving out. So I feel maybe that there's maybe you're going to become more determined. Okay? Now for me as a reader, these next 2 cards here are future cards, and we'll just go ahead and grab this one. This is Cups. They're so cute. Look at how cute. I love cute stuff. I love kitties. So this is the 4 of Cups. And, you know, the 4 of Cups is when you're dealing with apathy. You're just feeling bored with everything, you know. This is kind of emotional, okay? This is stagnation, right? When you, well, you know, in the top deck, this says, you know, water and earth. That's what this is, water and earth. And it makes mud. You can't really see through it. You know, mud can be good for some things, like if you want to apply it to your skin or soak in it and stuff like that. But you can't, things aren't very clear, okay? And it does become stagnant, okay? So this stagnation will usually blind us. You can't, like I said, you can't see through mud. So this stagnation blinds us to the opportunities that we have. And so then here's your Wheel of Fortune. And when the Wheel of Fortune is upside down, it talks about bad timing that can lead to some bad consequences. This is lost fortune. This is frustration. This is more setbacks. This can feel like bad luck. Okay? So because you have the Wheel of Fortune, look at how cute it is. It's in an exercise wheel. Aww. This is part of your divine blueprint, but this is also written in as something you can't change. So there is a reason. Okay? This, I tell people though, this is also called luxury in the Thoth deck. And I tell people that if you are at a place where you're bored, that's good. That's when you thank Spirit for allowing you to have such a comfortable life that you're kind of bored. Okay? That's the element of not seeing the blessing. That you're just, you know, everything is wonderful, and so you're bored and you're apathetic. But if you just take a moment and say, wow, thank you, Spirit, for this opportunity to be so comfortable that I'm bored. There you go. That's what you're supposed to do. So I feel like there's some, if you don't see this, some sort of opportunity that you're supposed to have, some sort of destiny may not come in. So stay lighthearted, Virgo. Stay playful. And I just want to say too, you know, this is the last week of summer. I'm going to be changing my tablescape next week, and I'm so excited. I almost changed it this week because, you know, kids are already in school. It already feels like autumn. And then when it's Christmas time, you know, it's still autumn. It doesn't really become winter until the 21st of December, I believe. So look at the little fish cups here. And that's why she wanted the last week of summer, because of all the fish and stuff. Cats love fish. Okay, so anyway, here is your hope. Okay, so I think that you're hoping that you'll get a message of passion, a message that's inspirational. But I'm sorry. See, these images are really helping me lighten up here, because look at this face. Oh my goodness, pardon me. All right, so I'm feeling really loyal friend here. A playful, loyal friend. Okay, this is your hope. There may be somebody who is this for you, somebody who's youthful. If they're not young, they're very playful. Whenever you get the Page of Wands, like you, they're loyal and they're playful friends. Okay, so if this is a friend, this is who you're hoping for. Oh, you want a loyal friend, a loyal, playful friend that you can laugh with, someone who inspires you, who lights your fire. That's beautiful. Now this is your, oh yeah, you're not feeling strong right now. You're very sad. This is feeling weak. This is a Leo card, the Strength card. Even kitties can seem to roar. Okay. He caught himself a little mouse toy. All right, so this is number 8. You can see the Lemniscate. This is connecting to the Lion's Gate. And I don't remember what your Lion's Gate and follow-up Lion's Gate reading said, but I feel kind of like this may have been, this card like this may have been in one of these future or the final outcome. Might want to check those readings, but you're feeling weak. You're not feeling strong anymore. You're not feeling like you can do this. But you can. Okay? You can. Virgo, you're not feeling very happy right now. I'm sorry. Which is probably one of the reasons why this very cute deck had to come in. Now you're afraid that your judgment, a judgment will not be made in your favor. Okay, this is a lot of stuff. Judgment in reverse can mean things like theft and divorce, but this also is procrastination. Okay, this is also weakness. Right now, you must be feeling very. I just heard you're in a bad place. But this is a major arcana card, Virgo. This feeling that you're feeling right now, look at, these are both major arcana cards. And this one right here is very much BAST. Bastet. Whenever I get the Judgment card, I hear it's time. So here, I feel like it's not time. And that's also something that you're afraid of. Time for what, Virgo? Time to flip the script? You can decide when it's time. And I don't even know why I said that. So your final outcome here, we've got the, what is this? This is the 9. Yeah. The 9 of Swords. This is nightmares and worrying. Sleepless nights. You're very upset, Virgo. This is the underlying energy, the Fool, another Aries energy. So there's 2 cards of Aries here. There may be an Aries involved. But this Fool is upright. This is starting your journey. Taking that leap of faith. Doesn't look bad, does it? It's time. It's time for you to take this leap of faith. It's time for you to laugh again. See, I got to read to you what this says, okay? Because this is a really cute picture as well. So I really hope that you like cats and think they're as adorable as I do, because they're trying to cheer you up. Like a cat forced to wear accessories, we all feel foolish sometimes. This card, first in the deck, reminds us that trailblazers needn't worry about the opinions of others. Cat-like curiosity is your guide. The sunny yellow background represents optimism about the venture ahead, and the white rose signifies trust. Whether that will turn out to be misplaced remains to be seen. Just like a cat forced to wear accessories, we all feel foolish sometimes. However, to me, this feels like this is a new beginning. You want this new beginning because this is judgment. This is when it's the end. Now, I don't see the world, which would be the end of a cycle, but this is judgment. You're afraid that it's not time for something to be over yet, and the underlying energy here is this new beginning. Okay? Now, there's an element of you not wanting to feel foolish by taking this leap of faith. You don't want to look like a clown, I just heard. But look at all these cards that you have here, Virgo, you're just sad. You're not doing what you would be doing if you were being strong. But like I said, okay, just because you're not feeling strong, just because things are going bad for you, well, you might say bad, I don't like to say that, but while things are uncomfortable and sad for you right now, these energies are showing you through the major arcana here, the Star, the Emperor, the Wheel, Judgment, and Strength. That's 5. 5 out of your 10 card spread here, Virgo, That's half this major arcana. Is major arcana. I'm sorry. I'm tripping over my words because I need to slow down. This is a huge part of your divine blueprint. This feeling. Sometimes we have to really feel that sadness to say, I've had enough. I've had enough, and I'm going to go ahead and just decide to, to whatever you need to do to get out of this sadness. And the underlying energy here is this leap of faith, this fool. The fool trusts in spirit completely. This is a new spiritual path. You, as someone who works on your spiritual path every single day, you're stagnating in something old. You've been battling a long time, or this Seven of Wands wouldn't even be there. So, let me say this. When we are physically exhausted or mentally exhausted, it is a lot harder for us to be in a good mood. It's a lot harder for us to feel that joy. That's why sometimes it takes a leap of faith. And this is walking with spirit. And this right here is just so much happier, isn't it? It's this is why. Okay, she's saying this is why we had to do this week. Maybe a lot of the signs are going to be feeling very sad, very exhausted. And the Emperor can very well mean, because of the state that your country is in, the government, this is authority. With COVID and everything, things have been a lot harder. People that we love are passing away and suffering, and the planet has been doing all this stuff. So this could be, this isn't exactly the world, the state of the world, because this is the Emperor, this is the authority. There's something or someone in authority that is at the root of all this that has caused this for you. So if this is not for you, has caused all this. But this is also the masculine energy, the sacred masculine energy that I feel like that I'm being told that this is to well up within you. To be your own boss. Because what Bastet was telling me last night, I'm just going to call her Bast. Because I asked her, I was like, okay, so why, what is it that you would like to say, cat spirit? And she's like, well, what do cats do? Cats are independent. But they're also social. And they're also very playful when they feel it's appropriate. To adopt a more cat-like attitude would mean a happier life. All right, so let's go ahead and... So half of this is your divine blueprint, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So I just really feel like this really is, this is a huge part of your destiny. This is something that is shaping you for later. This is going to teach you to ride that wave. I just heard there's a wave that you can ride like the dolphins. These things going on in our lives and in our world are causing big waves. Ride those waves like a happy dolphin, like a happy surfer, like, you know what I mean? There was this movie a long time ago called Parenthood with Steve Martin. And it was basically about life is a roller coaster. You can enjoy the ride and its ups and downs or not. You know, you can get all stressed out about life, or you can lighten up and enjoy those waves. But when it comes to how you feel and the energies that are within you, you can decide. You can say, you know what, Allison's right, forget it. I'm just going to be happy. I'm going to force myself to be happy, or I'm going to just go do more fun things and get all this stuff off of my mind. Because when you put out that playful, happy energy, what comes back is more playful, happy energy. Cats know all about energy. That's why they purr. That's how that vibration cures them. So she's saying, what can you do that would be your purr, that would set your vibration right? Wow, that is deep. What? Okay, any more? I don't even know who those are. Those ladies just flew out. Okay, we'll just put them right there. And we'll get your white light oracle card. See? Okay, Yeshe Sagyal. That's another thing. One night my mom said, hey, guess, the next morning she told me, she's like, guess what? I saw the tiger. She's year of the tiger in the Chinese astrology and stuff, but that's the cat spirit. I almost put the tiger up there as well. Yeshe Sagyal. Cats are very solitary, they're very solitary. They heal themselves. And yeah, like they do, they'll go off and pass away by themselves. They're very independent, even though they're very social. That's it. Which one would you like to? All right. When they fall out like that, I'm just going to take the top one, and I'm going to put the rest back. Let's see who we got goddess-wise. Oh, Tara, Bridget, Lakshmi, and Gaia. Okay, we heard from Gaia last week. Okay, so Gaia's saying go outside. That's another thing. Okay, so like I said, the cats will go off on their own when they want to go pass away. Now look at how these two cards are green, and it's almost the same color green. So this is creating like a sentence here. Connection to nature brings inner peace, protection, because here's more Tara, green, okay. Connection to nature brings inner peace, protection, and abundance. Okay, so like the cat, BAST would like you to spend some time outside. Meditate. Know you're protected. Know that abundance is coming. Okay, Lakshmi is answering this monetary trouble, feeling left out in the cold. She's like, no, abundance is coming. Look at her face. She wants me to show you her face. See how confident I am that you're going to be fine, she says. Right. You are protected. Yeah, inner peace. Look at how much Gaia and Bridget look alike. They both have flowers in their hair. They both have long hair. Hers is kind of golden, but it could be reddish. You know what I mean? Go out in Gaia to feel inner peace. And once you get to that inner peace, I think it's going to be easier for you to feel some joy again, okay? Oh, whoa, what? 34. that equals 7. 3 plus 4 equals 7, and 7 is the number the world was created on. So all of a sudden I'm feeling like there's a new, of course, there's a new life that you're going to be building. Oh, wow. Okay, hang on just a second, please. Okie dokie, I'm back. Just drank a whole lot of water before reading, so I just had to pause that and go visit the bathroom. So I can just not feel all rushed. Okay, so that is 34. Where am I? Oops, went too far. Wow, okay, so 33, the one right before this one is the tiger. Yeshi Sogyeol 333. Wow, she keeps showing up too, okay? Wow, the sacrament of extreme unction. Boy, that sounds pretty intense. Your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. Wow. That's what Bridget is saying here. Okay, now remember last week our big message was about joining your heart to your mind so that you can get your mind to start listening to your heart. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. That's the Fool card. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move toward it with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. Wow, okay. So that's why Bridget says, get your inner peace. That's why Gaia is saying, go outside to connect to nature. That's probably how you already know to get this inner peace, right? So then you have your peace. You are protected and abundance is coming. Okay, so in an ideal world, we would finish our inner work, be completely healed, checked it off the list, and move on without any issues from the past intruding into our present life. In a more realistic view, we do our best to muddle through, gaining enough understanding and healing to attain some degree of closure and move on as best we can, flicking off remnants of the past which can arise even whilst we are doing our best to let go. In an even more challenging turn of our growth spiral, we may know something has run its course and no longer belongs in our world, and yet have trouble exercising the past and its pains, confusions, or attachments, so it bleeds through into the present, even though we know it doesn't belong there. To avoid the taint of the past causing unnecessary issues in the present, the oracle of the Sacrament of Extreme Unction brings powerful spiritual last rites so you can be cleansed and liberated into the fullness of your next phase. In the Catholic tradition, extreme unction is performed at the time of physical passing to cleanse the soul and allow it to gracefully leave the body and enter the afterlife. In the context of this oracle, the symbolic equivalent of the sacrament is the powerful intervention of spirit to free you from the grip of what has been. It is a liberation from habit and the compelling lure of the familiar. It is divine forgiveness and healing. Extreme unction translates into last anointing. While spiritual grace will be with you always, and blessing is always available to the receptive heart, this oracle wishes to bring This oracle wishes to bring to your attention the ending of a particularly stubborn pattern. As it does, you will feel greater freedom and a new lease on life as if you are being born again within this lifetime. It augurs significant and permanent healing release. I gotta turn the page here. as the expression goes, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. That was interesting. I hadn't heard that. This oracle encourages you to embrace your future and let go of the emotional and psychological burdens you have been carrying for yourself and, likely, for many others, ancestors, and more, for far too long. Sometimes we martyr ourselves to the pain of the past or even attempt to carry the suffering of others, holding it within our hearts as if it can alleviate the burden of another or create healing. All that happens in such instances is that suffering increases. Let yourself off the hook of guilt, shame, or blame. Give yourself permission to acknowledge that all people, including you, have done their best. The universe is offering you a powerful spiritual gift. Your heart knows how to receive it. Let go. There is no turning back. It is time to start anew. It is time to be happy and free. See, that's exactly what I was getting from BAST. This new life is right here. It's time to be happy and free. What's under this? What is this? 5, 6, 7, 8 of Wands in the reverse. There hasn't been any communication. I feel like if there was communication, then you might be really happy because of how happy this looks like a kitten to me. But there's been no communication. What is this? Pentacles? 7 Pentacles. Working on your investments. And the 6 of Wands. You were feeling triumphant in the past here. Or who knows, this could be your future. This is something that, this is your new self right here. Being kind of silly and happier. That this is the idea behind this tarot. To cheer yourself up. Don't take things so seriously. Go out into nature as my cat did. And had her extreme unction. Wow, I just realized that. I'm sorry it made me choke up, guys, but go be with our mother, okay? Go out there and be with our mother. Find your inner peace. Understand that, you know, it's hard to let go of the past sometimes, but good times always come. And it'll come faster when you get this inner peace from our beautiful planet that is telling you you're protected, and I'm going to bring you even more abundance than you had before. Okay? Learn from this. Learn that apparently your lesson here is to learn how to let go, but also to be more understanding with yourself, that it can be hard to let these feelings go. So sometimes we have to do things that represent that. So it programs our mind that I dealt with this. I went outside, I found my inner peace, and I felt playful, and, you know, after that, and, you know, that's part of the healing. Like, you're like, okay, I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to go do this ritual or something that you can remember. Okay, like the day I went outside and I did this, that's when I let it go. Or that's when I started to really let it go. And every time it came up, I would do the same thing as this ritual to let it go. You know what I'm saying? When you do something that you can remember, that you actively worked on letting something go, actively worked on reclaiming your joy and your playfulness in life. So, all right, Virgo, that's what I have for you this week. I really hope you enjoyed your reading, and I'll see you next time.